I know other content creators have gotten in on this already since it happened, but because I'm quite a busy person, because at the moment I can't make this a full time because I don't have enough subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. But I really want to talk about it because Christopher Eccleston did a con this week. It was this week, yeah. Christopher Eccleston said that it's so funny. Sack Russell T Davis, and I'll come back. And he's never really been one for mincing his words, and people just think that he's like maybe a little bit sour of a sour grape. The thing is, since he left Doctor Who, he's not really sort of talked anything about too much about it, as far as I'm aware, out of respect for people. But I know he was offered to come back for the 50th special. He read the script, he didn't like it. Fair enough. So he didn't come back, which is why we ended up with the War Doctor. I like the War Doctor. I still think it should have been Paul McGann doing that episode. But, it's okay. It's fine. But I do like the War Doctor. Christopher Eccleston, Sack, Russell T Davies, and I'll come back. So, at a recent panel, he was asked what it would actually take for him to return, and he bluntly responded, sack Russell T Davies, sack executive producers Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and I'll come back. So can you arrange that? Of course, they're not going to be fired. Woohoo. And he was asked if it was hard to be associated with the character, and he says, not at all. I love being associated with the character. I just don't like being associated with those people and the politics that went on in the first series. The first series was a mess, and it wasn't to do with me or Billy. That's Billy Piper, who played Rose Tyler. It was to do with the people who were supposed to make it, and it was a mess. This is really the first time that we have heard him say that. So that speaks volumes. Clearly he must be very angry with what's going on with Doctor Who at the moment in order to come out with things like this. I saw a comment the other day saying they would wonder, the commenter would wonder how the classic Doctor Who actors would react to this. And I thought about it, react to things that are going on with Doctor Who at the moment. And I actually thought about it, and I was like, how would they react? I don't really know. We can't speak for William Hartnell. We can't speak for Pat Troughton or John Pertwee because they're all dead. Tom Baker, it's hard to say. He doesn't use social media. He goes to cons, so it'll be with whatever people hear from him at cons. Peter Davison was the only one, as far as I'm aware, that spoke out against the casting of Jodie Whittaker. We saw what happened then. The mob went out after him. He didn't even say anything that was particularly harsh. He just didn't agree with the casting and changing it to the woman. It was nothing against Jodie. And the mob went out after him, and he was just like, I'm done. If you're going to behave like that, I'm done. So he came off of social media. Colin Baker, he's a very kind man. I've met Colin. He's very kind. And he had a bad tenure with the BBC. It wasn't his fault. There was a lot going on behind the scenes, and he was it was said that he was the one that was trying to placate it all. So I don't think he would speak out against it. Sylvester McCoy, who knows? He doesn't really use social media. People tweet for him on his behalf, but other than that, we don't know. I do know that they were invited to the screening of it, and they seemed to like it. So Paul McGann, I wouldn't know. He doesn't use social media either. It'll be pretty much whatever you hear at cons, but the only one that I could really speak for, having met the person, is Colin Baker. So yeah, but it just says a lot. If about what's going on with Doctor Who now. If Christopher Eccleston is coming out and saying this, if it was that bad back then, it's only going to be worse now, isn't it? If you think about it, because if that's what's going on behind the scenes, it's going to be that and more. You know, so he wants them all gone. He did return to Big Finish. And why did he return to Big Finish? Because they're not involved with Big Finish. I think the only one who's ever written anything for Big Finish was Julie Gardner. And he wasn't involved with it at that point, because that would have been... Oh, she wrote the first Evening Smythe story, one of the Marian Conspiracy. So it would have been like 1999, maybe 2000, 2001. I can't remember when that story was written. So that was before Doctor Who came back. So, you know, so he's quite happy to return to Big Finish. I don't know how many he's done with Big Finish. I haven't actually listened to any of those stories yet. But yeah, he basically was just that, F that. I'm not going back unless you fire them. Which would say that he is actually open to coming back. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. And it got me thinking about the other Doctors. And it got me thinking about all of it. Wow, there is a lot of motorbikes today. We've got some of the biker gangs going around today. So, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to weigh in on it. I just thought it was brilliant that he said that. Anyway, let me know what you think. Chat, don't shout. Subscribe to the channel.